Hi my friends, welcome to channel English Professionally and this video course 700 English sentences. So it's a very good English speaking and grammar practice if you really want to speak English fluently and correctly, so you can listen and repeat. How often does he test their knowledge? I want to know English better. I really like it. Do you want to study better? He lives there. This test seems very easy. I need your advice. I need to see her. She'd like to go to another place. What time do you usually get up? She feels happy. Do you often call him? How does he get home? What do you think about it? He doesn't know it. What seems useless? Do we have enough practice? I really like these lessons. He lives in this country. She wants to see you right now. I want to be happy. She has a car. Does he want to live abroad? What do your friends usually order? He works very hard. It depends on them. What English books does he have? He wants more. I understand you very well. She explains all these things very well. She loves you. These lessons really help. She does those exercises regularly. She always does it on time. What helps you? I want to go abroad. I need money. How often does she go to the cinema? What does she want to add? She works very hard. My sister studies there. I like your lessons. Who loves her? I remember it. I want a new computer. What helps you? She lives in this place. I'd like a cup of coffee. It doesn't seem strange. What worries you more? How does it help you? My parents want to do it. All people do it. How long does it take him to get to that place? He doesn't try to find a good job. You don't try to learn English. What kind of examples does his teacher give? Does this person seem very good? It doesn't seem useful. I think so. They go to work. I go to work. How does she explain it? She needs to correct these mistakes. What music do you prefer? My sister lives there. How long does it take his daughter to get to school? You need to remember this rule. I live in this country. Do you remember it? I need to speak English without any mistakes at all. I understand everything. It helps me. I like it. Which drink does she prefer? Tea or coffee? Do you support me? Why do your parents disagree with you? She feels so happy. He goes to work. It depends on us. Does he hate this thing? How often do you go there? I like this idea. I don't want to study there. When do you have free time? She watches different movies. Do you often listen to music? I like this method. She tries to understand it. It doesn't inspire me. I want it. How often do you think about it? Where do they spend time together? I'd like to drink a cup of coffee. She doesn't want to discuss it. When does he feel happy? I don't want to live in that city. Who wants to live abroad? Your lessons really help. He misses you. I do it with great pleasure. It attracts me. Why does she refuse to pay? This lesson seems interesting. How do you get home? He wants more practice. Does that test seem very easy? Do we have enough knowledge? How do you spend your free time? Does he remember all these rules? Why does it happen again and again? Do they do business? Does she teach English? She reads in English. She speaks English very well. Do they support us? These lessons seem very useful. He often plays computer games. I practice English every day. My parents know it. Who corrects your mistakes? Does your boyfriend want to go abroad? Why does he say these things again and again? She has a cat. Who sees these mistakes? These things attract them. I see you really like English. I want more practice. Does he often think about it? Why do you think so? We speak English. Do you go to work? Do you work on your mistakes? Do these things seem unimportant? What does your boss usually answer? I need to study harder. Where do you work? How regularly do you practice English? He also works here. Does the student show brilliant results? He understands you very well. What seems strange? I live in India. My friend doesn't think so. He has an offer. Why does he always complain about it? He knows more. I see everything. He doesn't want to read these books. He wants to read those books. Does he often watch TV? He thinks so. I like this thing. He teaches English. It doesn't help me. I don't want to play computer games. Do you remember everything? Do you need my advice? My boss reads all the documents. She does it very well. How much money do you have with you? He sees that mistake. Does this lesson seem useful? Who supports you? It seems interesting. I don't agree with you. She misses you. Do they support this decision? She really remembers it. I want to thank you. I want to know it. We live in this country. I really need English. How does he support you? I need to correct this mistake. He also knows it. How regularly does your boss check it? How does your sister feel? How regularly does he do these exercises? I want to go to another place. Who do you know? This thing seems unimportant. How long does it take her to get to this place? What does he remember? Why do you agree with him? It really happens. I'd like a cup of tea. I need this thing. He often goes to the cinema. I want to train my memory. They don't do business. I don't want to think about it. She wants to do it right now. My friend needs your help. Does he ignore her words? Does your father need it? Why does it attract you? I know they like it. He does it every day. How regularly do you learn English? Do you really like this idea? Does it seem interesting? How many dollars does he have? They go to school. Do I have enough money? I want to do it. My brother tries to do it. She doesn't remember it. I speak English. His lessons seem very useful. What does he want to add? Why do your friends disagree with you? We understand you. What do you want to say? It looks interesting. He doesn't have a car. We need to solve this problem. Does your mother want to tell him all the truth? It inspires me. What inspires you? Who does she love? Does she often listen to the radio? I don't want to tell you about this problem. What do you like here? The ideas seem very interesting. What does he need to change? Does his girlfriend understand it? I find all these lessons really useful. Why do you depend on him? She also works there. How does she train her memory? Do your parents understand it? You know it. Why does your boss criticize it? I see he really likes it. I don't want to know it. Does that lesson seem boring? Does she ignore it sometimes? It attracts him. Does she want to go abroad? I want to speak English fluently and correctly. Where do you go? This lesson helps me. They often criticize them. Your brother often says it. Do you like that offer? She tries to learn English. Do they see their mistakes? Do you like it? Does your friend agree with you? My sister lives in this place. I have an idea. How do you usually get to that place? I don't understand these people. How regularly do you speak English? He has dollars. I know it. This thing attracts her. What time does she leave home? When do you feel happy? He'd like to become a doctor. He makes so many mistakes. What books do you read? She goes to school. I support this decision. Who does it motivate? It seems useless. Do you have free time? Do you agree with him? What channels does he watch? I'd like to visit this place. We like it. I love you. What time does your mother come to work? She watches TV. Why do you want to visit this place? Who does he support? He wants to buy this thing. She wants more practice. Does this thing seem important? I don't want to say it. I need to speak English fluently. Does he often speak English? My friend likes this hotel. I really want it. Does it seem boring? I feel it. It happens. What kind of computer games do they play? I need to solve these problems. I like this channel. Why does it look strange? How often do you go to the gym? Does this information seem unimportant? Do you agree with her? I work here. What does she want to add? I'd like to know English very well. Our mother thinks the same. That offer seems strange. This offer looks interesting. How does he usually spend his free time? How does she get home? He has a house. She needs your advice. What do they want to tell you? We don't want to live in another place. I really need it. What worries you? What do you want to do? His father has a car. She'd like to become a teacher. What does she try to do? I want this thing. My boss always says it. When does it happen? This company has money. He has a company. Its profit seems so big. She remembers it. I really need your lessons. Do the students speak English correctly? I want to speak English correctly. I want a good car. Where does he work? How often do these things happen? Who knows it? She sees this mistake. I want to improve my English. My parents want to live in another place. Do your friends agree with you? Does he ignore everything? Do these results motivate you? Do you want to know your mistakes? Do you agree with them? I need to call him. What interests you? I want to improve my grammar. I want to go there one more time. I study here. I want this computer. Does she often say it? I don't know. Does the student make mistakes? We need more information. They show brilliant results. We remember it. Do you often visit this place? What advice does she give you? Do you often do it? I'd like to go abroad. Why does it interest him? I have a sister. He needs it. Do you support him? What attracts him there? So those problems, for example, those problems are so big. Okay? Those problems are so big. Really, it's terrible. Okay, what does she usually say? What does she usually say? What seems important? He lives in this house. I need it. What really helps you? I see it. What time do you go to bed? He helps me. How many friends do you have? She needs it. What really helps you? Who supports you? Do you often use the internet? Do you have enough money? Do you often go to the gym? They study very hard. He always promises it. I want to have a good job. How many mistakes do you usually make? I really need you. He feels happy. I don't like it. How many English words do you know? Where do your parents live? I need to improve my English. Who checks all this information? What does your boss usually promise? I want to go there. I want to go there one more time. He needs to change his life. Does he try to find a new job? I do business. Where does your father work? She lives in that place. Where does she usually go? We want it. He tries to help me. What do you know? I think you need to work less. What drinks does she prefer? Does your friend like this idea? It really inspires me. Does this information seem useless? Do you support him? Do you need help? So my boss usually ignores it. My boss usually ignores it. He likes this dress. What books does she prefer to read? Why do you like this channel? He tries to find more time for English. It really helps me. I need to train my memory. You need it. My mother comes home early. I really like this place. Does it sometimes happen? Does she like this profession? He checks, when you say he or she, he checks all the information. What advice do teachers give you? My father comes home late. We don't understand it. We live in Russia. Your mother needs to work less. I'd like to become a businessman. I want to go there again. I know it very well. Where does she study? How regularly do teachers tell you these things? It doesn't work. I want to learn English fast. What channels does he usually watch? I work there. What motivates you more? My friend wants to check it one more time. Do you often go there? I like this video. That method seems useless. Does she really like it? He'd like to order it online. Who do you support? How long does it take you to get to school? I don't want to live in this country. So, this student shows brilliant results. Do they agree with us? He explains everything very well. How often does he go to the zoo? I go to school. My friend has a car. I need to solve that problem. They like it. I don't want to discuss it. I really want to know it. He has a dog. How do you get there? Does he live there? I'd like to become a businessman. Does he like it? I want to practice English now. She goes to school with great pleasure. I want to speak English without mistakes. What advice does your teacher give you? You need to remember it. We need it. You need to change it. When do you go to work? I understand you. Does she need to come to that place? Why do they depend on you? How long does it take your friends to get there? What kind of books do you read? Why does your mother think so? He wants to do it. I like this advice. What advice do your friends give you? I'd like to do it. He sometimes plays computer games. Does he pay for it? I have a car. I work. They don't help me. Does he like this project? Does this exam seem very difficult? You help me. I'd like to practice English. I understand. We live here. How often do these things happen? My father leaves home very early. He doesn't work there. He works here. Do these lessons help you? I need to check it. She also thinks so. She has interesting ideas. When does your father leave home? When do those things happen? Does he hate it? It looks strange. What lessons does your teacher find really useful? He needs more money. What seems so interesting? She likes it. Does he want to work in another place? He sometimes wants to do it. Do we show good results? You see it. His father needs money. It doesn't interest me at all. You speak English very well. He needs to find a good job. What does she tell him? I want to speak English better. He really thinks so. He doesn't have this information. Does his father do business? They want to solve all these problems right now. I don't want to drink. Where do you live? What do you need to do? Why does he complain so often? It depends on him. How long does it take his son to get to work? I like this channel too. My friend needs your advice right now. I need to call them. How often do you listen to the radio? Does he often hear it? She teaches it. Do you need more money? Why does your friend want to look for a new job? I have a brother. How does she test their knowledge? He doesn't share your point of view. I need this information. He reads in English. How regularly does your teacher say it? She wants to go to the park. My brother wants it. I like this playlist. She wants more. I hate it. They need it. I don't want to tell you this thing. He also works here. How do you usually spend your free time? How does he solve these problems? Who controls it? She wants to do it. He tries to do it. What kind of movies does she watch? Do you need to solve this problem right now? I really like this channel. Do you go to school? My father does business. She likes this place. I need to learn English. Do I make mistakes? Do you know about this problem? How often does this thing happen? How much free time does your business partner have? I'd like to drink a cup of tea. We want to know English. He also remembers it. She helps me. Does their boss know all the truth? I study there. Does it really help you? I'd like to thank you for everything. I want a new flat or I want a new apartment. Does he often tell you these things? Who usually checks it? I live in this city. All people know it. I share your point of view. These lessons help me. I need to do it. How much money does she pay? These students show brilliant results. I really need to know it. Who goes to work? Does she need to call him? Who do you usually see there? Does your teacher see it? What seems unimportant? I remember it very well. What time does he come to work? What looks strange? I want this dress. Why does it seem useless? I need to speak English without mistakes. Does it often happen? She sometimes goes to the cinema. Do the students show excellent results? I really like this playlist. How often do you use the internet? I think you need to work more. I like English. I need to speak English correctly. I often listen to the radio. He has money. Does this result motivate you? Do you like this dress? Which channel does he usually watch? I want it. How does your brother control it? How regularly do you check it? She reads English books. It seems unimportant. Why does he refuse to do it? I don't want to do it right now. She wants to live in another place. Who does it worry? Do your friends always support you? She always does it with great pleasure. I don't know this person. My boss knows everything. My partner needs to solve this Problem. Right, my partner needs to solve this problem. Does this channel help you? Do you agree with me? How many English words does your friend want to know? Does this teacher explain everything very well? Why do you want to know English very well? I also like this channel. It depends on her. I live in the city. He loves you. I want to buy a new flat or a new apartment. I'd like to become a manager. What works so well? You work very hard. Do you understand me? They do business. Who checks everything? Does she often use it? All your ideas seem very interesting. I feel happy. I want to have a good car. We don't share your point of view. They know everything. He often complains about it. Does she tell him everything? They don't want to listen to us. He doesn't want to try to find a good job. Do we try to improve this result? They help me. Why does this idea seem so interesting? I disagree with you. Does she need to come there? Do you support this decision? What English books do you read? How to get to this place? We think so. We want much more practice. She lives in that city. How long does it take you to get to work? He tries to find a job. Does he look for a job? He knows it. How many English words does he know? How do you get to work? You like it. I do these exercises regularly. She often goes to the park. How often do you watch TV? Does this channel seem very interesting? Does he always pay for her? How do you find this idea? Who motivates you? How much free time do you have? Does it look strange? My friend wants to live abroad. I like this question. She always criticizes him. I usually get up early. I really want to speak English fluently. I prefer tea. She prefers coffee. Do you remember this rule? We see its success. Your words inspire us. This result motivates us. It depends on our boss. What motivates you more? I want to thank you for your advice. I'd like to thank you for your help. How to find these lessons? How to find this place? Do you want more practice? Do you want to improve your results? Yeah, it's a question. How often do you go to the zoo? Who do you usually call? So who usually, so don't forget to add s. So you need to say who usually calls you. What does he refuse to do? I need to train my memory more. She often asks these questions. He sometimes answers. I like your decision. I share their point of view. He always promises it. What do you want to add? What would you like to add? She would like to drink a cup of tea. Okay, cup of tea. So I need this information now. Do your friends like this channel? So my friends really like it. So I find these videos very useful. So I'd like to thank our teacher for everything, really. So what a good idea, actually, to thank our teacher for everything, but I think that actually I don't need it. Okay, so I really hope that it was a great idea to record this amazing course, yeah, which is extremely useful, not only for speaking, but for grammar too. Thank you very much, my friends. I wish you good luck. Bye-bye.